Okay, so this is my third attempt to make this video. My first two I tried to do on my laptop, and it didn't work out very well. And the first time I forgot to hit record, and the second time the camera was doing this weird shit. Anyway, so it's funny that my phone works better than the laptop. So what I want to talk about is something that happened to me just the other day that I had to think about why it happened and why I responded the way I did, and it's my inability to say no. And going along with that is what appears to be a great amount of indecisiveness or an inability to just make decisions. And so what happened was I was doing my second job, which I really like. And, I'm doing pretty good at it, and then I got this text: "Hey, so and so wants to invite us to lunch at this restaurant. Do you want to go?" And I thought about it, and then so here's the thought process of what goes on when you ask me to make a decision. Okay, so I'm out doing this thing, right? So I'm really focused on what I'm doing. And what goes on in my brain is, okay, I can go do this lunch thing, and I'm going to have to drive X amount of minutes to this place. Then probably going to spend like an hour there, maybe. Then I'm going to have to go back to where I was at. That's probably going to be 2 hours of that, and in that time, it's going to break my focus of what I'm doing, so that when I try to go back to do what I was doing, the job that I was doing, I'm going to have a very difficult time doing that. And anyone who's autistic will tell you, we get really focused on things, and when you break that focus, it's almost impossible for us to get back to what we're doing. I'm not saying I can't do it, because I can, and I probably look like I'm smoothly transitioning back to whatever, but my mind is going, and there's no translation for that except for maybe like Tasmanian devil spinning thingy. Anyway, so I said no. I wanted to keep doing what I'm doing, and okay. So then now I say no, and then the next thought train that comes chugging through the tunnel is, oh my God, you just made people mad, or you just upset people because you didn't want to do something. And then here comes the thoughts of, okay, so the person that invited us to lunch, now he's going to be mad because you didn't want to have lunch with him, and he's going to think you don't like him and don't want to spend time with him and want to be around with him, okay? And then the person that told you that we were invited is going to be mad at you because now you've hurt his friend's feelings, and there's all these things that go along with this whole process. So a lot of times, to avoid all of that, I will just say yes and acquiesce, and it can be a matter of greatly inconveniencing myself because I want to do something, or I am doing something, and I have to stop doing it to go do this, and it happens to me way more than I express, because I don't want to look self-centered. I don't want to look selfish. I don't want it to look like I'm only thinking about myself, and it's hard. It's difficult to be in that situation where you're always seen to be pushing your own wants and your own desires and your own needs to the side to give other people what they want and what they need. And I'm not quite sure how to change that, other than I have to try to change my mindset and tell myself, just because you said no to somebody doesn't mean they're going to dislike you, or they're going to hate you, or they're going to not want to spend time with you, or they're going to think there's something wrong with you, or any of those things. But then there's a fine line of, if I always say no to everything, then yeah, no one's gonna want to spend time with me. No one's gonna want to hang out with me. No one's going to invite me to do things because, oh, he's the guy that always says no. So what's the point of inviting him somewhere? And it's a little bit frustrating when I'm put in that situation where I have to say no. And there are times where I have to say no simply because it's just not feasible. And then I go into explaining why I have to say no, and that turns into a whole thing of me over explaining things, which is another aspect of autism that I have discovered I have. I mean, I haven't recently discovered that. I know that I knew that I did it. I just didn't know why I did it. Actually, there's an explanation as to why I do it, but that would be for an entirely different video, so I don't want to go off topic with that because I can talk about that for hours. Anyway, again, over explaining. So, but anyway, so there's that. The difficulty of saying no is large part due to not wanting to hurt other people, or appearing as though I have hurt other people, or have caused them to not be able to do what they want to do because I said no. So that's part of it. The other aspect of not being able to make decisions or appearing indecisive is because I don't want my decisions to negatively affect other people. And that's a really hard one to deal with, because when you ask me to make a decision, now I have to think, okay, all right, so I have to make a decision of where we're going to go eat. Okay, you asked me to make a decision. Okay, so now how many restaurants are there that we both like? Okay, there's this. Okay, so now I have to narrow it down to what are the ones that we like the most between the two of us. Okay, it's okay, now it's this, or this. Okay, now which restaurant does he like more? Because I really want him to have what he wants to have, because I'm perfectly fine getting something at that restaurant. And I'm okay with that. And when I tell people, I don't care what we do, I don't care what decision we make, let's just go do it. I almost 99% of the time, honestly, don't care what we're doing. I just want to spend time with you. That's all it is. And I'm perfectly happy going to eat at some horrid backwater I don't know, Chinese buffet restaurant that who knows what they put on the thing there, and going there and trying to find something that I will eat, and you're happy, and that's fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But I know it's frustrating when somebody asks you to make a decision and it looks like you simply can't. And it's not that I can't make a decision, it's that there's a whole process that goes into me making a decision. So this whole process of me making these videos is probably more for me than anyone, but also to try to get other people to see what goes on in my brain when you ask me to do these things. And I'm not saying that I can't ever make decisions, because I can, but when I'm forced to make a decision and haven't had time to think about it, it almost ends up being, every time, always a bad decision, or the wrong decision, or an ill-timed decision, or a decision that nobody wants, because you're forcing me to right now to choose something. Okay, I'm there. Choose. I chose something. Oh well, nobody really wanted that. Well, you asked me to choose. That's what I did. So the process that goes into me making choices is this. Okay, Sean, we want you to decide what activity we're going to do on Saturday for the whole family. Okay. Now I have to think, okay, so we've got how many adults? So if it's me, my husband, my daughter, my son-in-law, and their 2 kids. Okay, so we have 4 adults, two kids. One kid's 5, or going to be 5, one kid's going to be 2. Okay, so now I have to think of an activity that all these people are going to enjoy. Okay, so, oh, goodness, how am I going to do this? So, well, we can go to the one place, but Jason won't go there because he doesn't like that. Or, okay, we can go to this other place. Oh, wait, the kids really can't walk around there because they're kids, and one of them has to kind of be in a stroller. Okay, so now what do I do? Okay, now what? Oh my goodness. Now I'm stuck because I don't know. There are too many choices, and it's almost like, when you have a kid and then you have 5 choices for dinner, they can't choose because there's too many things, and it's much easier if you say, pick this or this. Pick one of those. I don't care which one. Pick one of those. Okay. So now I have to narrow down my choices to the things that everybody can do, everybody can be a part of. And there's also issues of Jason and I are a little bit older, so there are certain activities that we can't do, or we certainly can't do for long periods of time. and have to think about that. And then, well, now we have these two little kids. We have to do something that's going to entertain them. And they're kids. They have the attention span of a gnat, which is kids. But does any of this at all make any kind of sense to anybody? Because this is what happens to me when you put pressure on me to make a decision. If you want me to make a decision on something, give me time to do it, and I will do it, and I'll make a good decision, and I'll try to make the best decision for everybody. But when you want me to pick something right now at this moment to fit this scenario, you may not like the result, because I haven't had time to think about all these things. One of the reasons I'm making these videos is because when I try to explain myself and explain my thought process, there's a few things that happen. Either people's eyes glaze over because they don't understand at all what I'm saying, because I can't get my thoughts out for them to be coherent enough to make sense to people. But they make sense to me, but they don't make sense to other people. Or I'm taking an extremely long time to go around the world to get to this point. And that's because I have to examine everything from every aspect before I can get it to make sense. And that can take a long period of time. And people become exasperated because I'm just talking, and then 2 hours later, okay, now this is what it really meant to say was this. So all these things led up to this thing, and I probably could have easily said, I just don't want to go there. And been that simple, but I had to explain over explaining information dumping. It's a trait that I have, that it's really hard to not go into. I'm doing it right now, and I'm sorry. But yeah, so when it comes to me saying no, that's why I have a hard time saying no. It's because I'm a people pleaser. I want people to be happy. I want people to accept me. I want to be part of the group. I want to be liked. I want to be wanted. I want to be accepted. So I will go along with things I don't necessarily want to do just so that other people are happy. I think it's kind of part of just being human. Everybody does things that they don't want to do or don't like doing or whatever, just to fit in or just to be, loved and part of the group, whatever. But I think we autistics tend to do that quite a bit more than we're willing to tell you, because we don't want to hurt your feelings. And then the other part of not being able to make decisions is it goes along with this. It's really the same thought process, but now instead of me just being able to say a flat no, now you're asking me to make a choice that's affecting all these other people. I guess it kind of goes along the same thought process. Anyway, that's that. I don't want to keep joining on. This is a 13-minute video. I'm sure not too many people are going to watch it anyway, but at least I can get my thoughts out there, and I can share it with my family and my one friend, half friend. I don't know how many friends I have. I don't really have any. Nobody likes to spend a lot of time with me. It's my own fault. But so there's that, and I hope it makes sense, and I hope it helps some of you to understand where I'm coming from and the things that I go through when you ask me to make choices. So I hope I can get better at it. It's going to be hard because I think too much about other people, and I care a great deal about the people around me, and I don't want to inconvenience anyone. So thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them at the bottom, and ta-ta!